What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are finally going to be wrapping this car. That is right, guys. We are finally going to start the wrap process on this car, and hopefully everything turns out great. I'm going to be doing it on my own, and I'm going to walk you guys through the steps or some of the materials that I'm going to be using, and exactly finally showing you guys what kind of wrap I'm going to be doing. Now, the very first thing you need to do when you want to wrap is, of course, wash the car completely and clean, have it super clean. So that is what we're going to do right now. So before we move the car out, let's give you guys the cold startup. That is in tour mode, so it's not as loud, but it still sounds good, especially once it warms up. I'm gonna pull the car out, get it washed, and then we'll bring it back inside and start talking about the exact process and what materials I got for the wrap. We've got the Camaro completely cleaned. Now I'm gonna just finish going over any water spots or things like that, or kind of spots where little drips have happened, clean it all up, and then I'll show you guys the vinyl and the design that I'm going with. Here is everything that you really need to start doing a wrap job on your car. Now there's a few things we still got to do here, but I want to show you guys the materials. And the first thing I did is I bought this little kit from Amazon, and as you guys can see, it comes with your X-Acto blade to cut or do fine cuts on the car. It comes with this longer kind of like box cutting blade so that you can cut your pieces of vinyl, and it comes with two of these applicator pads and this trim tool to kind of push into the edges. And one thing that is really important, and especially for working on what I'm going to be doing and the design that I'm going to be doing, because we're not wrapping the whole car, is you need to have this 3M knifeless tape. This stuff is going to allow me to get the design I want and make the cuts nice, smooth, without damaging the paint or anything like that. So let's go ahead and look at what color I went with, and I'm sure you guys can guess. Of course, it is gloss black, guys. Now, the cool thing about this is the new, or maybe not new, but this is the 2080 3M series, and as you guys can see, it actually has a film over it. And that film allows you to prevent any scratches or marring when you're kind of flattening it out and making sure that it is sticking onto the paint. And gloss black seems to be really difficult to get to do that, and it's super easy. But as you guys can see, I got quite a bit of it, and this is, I believe, 40 feet. So it's 5 feet wide by 40 feet. Now let me show you guys the design that I'm going for. Now the one I'm going to post up on the screen right now has a lot of logos and other stuff on it, which I'm not going to be doing, at least in that configuration. But the baseline is going to be, of course, one angled stripe going to the front, on this side and then one coming back on the opposite side, like you see in the drawings of that Corvette. It's Need for Speed kind of livery. So let's go ahead and start prepping this. I'm super excited. Comment down below what you guys think of how this car is going to come out with that design. First thing first is, because we're going to be doing a stripe across here and more than likely going to be cutting in here, so this mirror is actually going to be in the way, we're going to have to remove the mirror and remove the door handle. The removal of the door handle is actually very simple, and it takes right here, it's a T20 bit and it's straight up into there. Now you got to be very careful and make sure that this doesn't fall into the door. I was able to loosen it up completely and then slowly pull out my bit and then use this magnet to kind of fish it back out. It's got this little rubber cover right there. Now the problem here is that because we've got the door handles with the sensors to unlock and lock the door, we've got a connection inside the door panel that we need to disconnect to be able to completely remove this door handle. Not what I wanted. I was hoping I didn't have to do that, but it's okay. It's not too difficult, and it's believed there's just 3 bolts, one right under here, one in here, and then one behind the door handle, and then just a bunch of clips all the way around. And looking at the way that the mirror is positioned, it looks like we were going to have to do that anyway. For the top metal clips, guys, we do have to loosen up this trim piece here, this like water shield. And then once you loosen up, there's 2 here, and then there's one on the inside there on the back side, which when you lift up you can see right there. Then you literally are just going to pull straight up on this whole thing and everything will come out as one piece. Alright guys, so there you see it right there. It's going to be this little plug right here. Once we disconnect that, the door handle will come off. Getting to this plug was much difficult than I thought, but we did have to kind of pull this plug off of the clip back there to give us some space, and then you pull back on the safety tab and then you can just press forward to release the plug. For the mirror, guys, you're gonna have to remove this little panel here. There's 2 bolts here, and then there's a 3rd one that you can access through this side, but this is a hard shell plastic, so it looks like we're gonna have to cut. The mirror assembly is out, and guys, let me just tell you, you got to be very careful with these. As you guys see, this last one, I ended up stripping the bolt. It's just it's threaded on there with threads, so I'm gonna reinstall that back. But you do have to unplug the connector, which is this one right here. We are done with this side, as you guys can see. Now we will be able to go ahead and do our wrap and not have any issues with it. After a bunch of different tries, trying to see all the angles and get it all right, I think we've got the template for the first black stripe. You're gonna have white, this will be black, so all the stuff inside these green lines will be black. Going up here through black, a little trim piece of here is going to be black, not the whole thing. And then we're going to have this spike merging right here on the front. And when we do the back stripe, I'm going to kind of do the opposite. We're going to basically be doing this in a bunch of different pieces. So this section here, this little spike here will be one piece. That piece, the hood on this section, will be another small piece. This little triangular piece will be one piece. This kind of corner here will all be a one-piece vinyl wrap, and then the door panel will be one piece, and then this will be one piece. So really excited. Let's start laying down this vinyl and see just how easy it is to work with. So here we have, I've laid out the first piece, and I went a little overboard with extra pieces, but the tape outline really stands out and embosses. I'm gonna clean up this little corner here, but this is how it looks. Really nice. And one thing, because this has that nice film protection over that you can kind of pull off, you'll see that it scratches up when you're trying to lay it flat. It will scratch up, but it does not scratch up the actual vinyl, which is perfect and part of that whole new G20 series, which is really nice and good, especially if you're doing gloss black. Definitely want to make sure you get something premium like that. There we have it, guys. So this, even though it's the smallest piece, I think is actually by far the hardest because of this spike here. and having to use the knifeless tape is very, very difficult. If you zoom in here, you can see I didn't do exact nice cut, but it's okay. You won't really be able to tell, but man, I can't wait to see the finished product, guys. I'm gonna keep working on the rest of it and show you guys kind of updates as we go. And it is back together on this side, and man, honestly, I really love the way it looks. Now, I'm kind of leaning towards getting this wrapped also. Go ahead and wrapping the handle. The mirror, actually, I think I like it in white, but because everything is so much black around over there, I'm thinking at least the handle getting wrapped around. But everything came out really well. I gotta say, the knifeless tape is amazing. It gives you nice clean cuts, and although it ain't perfect, it still is really cool for doing a DIY. We still have to do the back stripe, basically the opposite, going this way back to the back and coming back here. So it's gonna be using this front half with the fender, not the back end here, and I think it's gonna come out pretty cool. And one of the things that I'm looking at doing is getting my shield logo right here on the side, the JLS with the 2 pistons. I think that would be really, really awesome. But other than that, I'm gonna work on the other one. I actually ended up wrapping the door handle, so that looks a lot more uniform. I'm leaving the mirrors white. Those are a little more complicated. I might do those black, but I think I like the way it looks with the white, a little accent. But then check out when you get over here on this side, guys. That is right. We've now got the back stripe coming across, and went ahead and did the door handle there as well. Came out really nice. This piece was the most difficult one, but you go all the way around and you come back to the back where you finish off your stripe in the back. Let me go ahead and pull the car out and show you guys what it looks like outside. Well, guys, there you have it. The wrap on the 2019 Camaro. As you guys can see, we've got one stripe back, one stripe going forward, and ending at a tip. And I gotta say, I'm actually, for being my first time doing this and trying to do a design, I think it came out pretty nice. On the back side, you can see the back end kind of coming down to a point, and then on the front, this side, you'll see kind of the two-tone going up, following up, and then ending at the hood. And this is my favorite view right here, guys. Really like how that came out. Now, it's not perfect. Obviously, first time doing it, there's a few differences. Like this spot here, I cut too short, so we ended up seeing white there. See it right there as well, and right there. I need to do kind of the inside of the door jambs right here, this edge, at least this piece here. Haven't done that yet to kind of blend it in, because it's certain angles, like from the back side you can see the white, so, but like from this angle you wouldn't be able to tell or see anything. Little angles there. Overall, guys, I think I did a great job for being the first time. I will say the knifeless tape is amazing. One thing that you want to do before you start cutting your knifeless tape is go ahead and make a little relief cut on top of your vinyl, right on the edge of where it starts, so that the tape has a little head start and it's not trying to rip through a solid piece of vinyl. Really helps tear up and clean up the bottom, or whenever you're tearing out the knifeless tape from the bottom side. But let me know in the comments down below, guys, what do you guys think of the design on the Camaro? It's a very different, very different, so that's why I went ahead and did this. Now, this isn't completed. We are still going to build on top of this, and like you guys saw at the very beginning, the design is inspired by a racing car livery, so we are going to be adding a few things. I do plan on putting my shield logo right here and on the roof, and then of course doing a few my shield logo here as well. So we're going to be doing some really cool things and adding to this. This is the base layer, and I think it came out awesome. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? It's a lot of work, but It's very satisfying when you see the end result, guys. That's it for today's video, guys. As you guys can see, we finally have a wrap on the car, and I think it looks amazing. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys are having a great one, and I'll see you guys next video.